Hi everyone, it's Win with Tustle Marketing. I have a guest here today. It's not even a guest. You're a
I'm
teammate.
not. I'm not. I'm not special enough to be a guest.
Ooh, okay, all right. Well, another team member here at Tustle. We got Jason. Say hi, Jason.
How's it going, everybody?
Nobody's tuning in because
Nobody's tuning
that's
in.
fine. It's cool. It's 100% cool because you know what? We're being present. So I say it's not about having everything together or like just being present in the moment. We tell people to do video. We want to applaud you for doing video. We're applauding ourselves right now, right? Maybe we don't have everything going on. It's a little spur of the moment. Tustle Tip Tuesdays aren't necessarily planned. They will be one day. But for now, we're showing up. All right, that's more important than not doing anything at all, right?
Well, and just because it's not planned doesn't mean it's not good info.
Ooh, there we go. Right. So
That's right.
people will watch this afterwards. We appreciate some of the feedback that have been going on with Tustle Tip Tuesday. We're here just to kind of give you those tips that we see going on. Two is why we do our webinar. So we've been talking through the last few weeks of our different webinars that we have going on. Actually, Jason will be Jason. I don't know where you're
That's
pointing
me.
at. It's backwards.
It's backwards.
He's leading our next webinar, which is going over how to best use video to grow your business. So Jason, why don't you like highlight? I'd like to hear in your own words what you will actually be talking about.
Oh, geez, putting me on the spot. Well, first off, if you're not doing video, you need to be doing video. I think that's probably the most important thing. But if you're attending the webinar, then you probably are wanting to do video.
Mm-hmm.
And like my number one hot tip, and I think Wynn has covered this on a post, is just do it. Doesn't matter if it's on your phone, if it's on a GoPro, if it's on a DSLR, if you've got lights or no lights or whatever, just do it, because if you're not doing it, you're never going to get better at it.
Right.
And yes, your first videos are going to
They're
be terrible.
Oh my gosh, they're
It's
terrible.
okay. It's okay. I run a YouTube channel in my private life, and I look at the first video I did, which was a little over a year ago, and it was horrible, and it's embarrassing to watch. And I'm a professional video production person. I went to college for this. I have a bachelor's degree in video production, and I've been doing it since I was 14 years old.
Mm-hmm.
But I was always doing it on the other side of the camera. And the first time you put yourself in front of the camera, it's not always easy.
It's painful. But you got to do it, right? It's like riding a bike, all right? Like the first time's a little wobbly. You might crash, but at some point, like it becomes second nature. But to do that, you have to keep riding a bike, all right? It's like anything. You got to keep doing it. So,
well, again, and by now, most everybody today is on a Zoom call at least once a week, right? So you should be used to seeing yourself on the camera because you're doing it for work. It's no different.
Yep. We say the same thing too. Like, oh, I can't market my products or services. So you just own a business and you haven't been like you're doing marketing. You just might. It depends how you define it. Yes, you can talk to a customer. You can answer the phone. You can do a video. Just do it, right? Just do it. So you're just that's the whole webinar. Just do it. That's what it should have been called. We should partner.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Well, and amazingly, I started video in the 90s, which I used to carry around a camera recorder that was literally the size of, I would say the size of a phone book, but no one even knows what a phone book is anymore. So it was huge.
The size of a PS5.
Okay, yeah, and bigger and heavier. Probably weighed 65 pounds.
All right.
And it was big enough that if you didn't want to carry it, you'd put it on a rolling cart and roll it behind the camera with a cable that was 2 inches around connected to the camera. And now I have something that's more powerful than that right here in my iPhone. And so we live in an amazing age for video production where you can produce just absolutely mind-blowing videos just using your smartphone. It doesn't have to be an iPhone. It doesn't have to be the latest and greatest. And so you have no excuses.
No excuses.
Not you, Wynn.
No. The goal is that we're doing it, we get better, right? Like that's the goal. We're showing up. Congratulations, you've been doing video, but now it's time to take that next step. Now it's time to maybe do what do you call it? Like, what is the plane? I'm thinking like skateboarding. Now it's time to do a trick. Now it's time for no handlebars, all right? And then maybe next you're standing on a leg, and then before you know it, you're, I don't know, doing something BMX. That's something BMX style. So what tip do you have for us today, Jason, other than being just present?
Right. So, you might notice the difference between Win and I's camera. She's using a webcam, external webcam. First off, if you don't have an external webcam, every camera on the market attached to a computer, if it's a laptop, a desktop, I'm using a
Terrible.
iMac. I have a MacBook Pro. They're thousands and thousands of dollar computers, and the webcams are terrible.
Terrible.
They're worthless.
They're bad.
So first off, buy an external camera. You don't have to spend a fortune if you don't have one. Under $100, you can get a decent camera. Over $100, you can get a really good camera. And if you want to take a next step, so you can see the difference if you look at Wynn's camera versus my camera, her background is sharp. My background is blurry. You can't see the mess in my office behind me quite as easily. I'm actually using a DSLR as my webcam. And so if you don't have a webcam, but you do have a camera laying around, a DSLR, a lot of companies are making free webcam software. Since the pandemic,
Oh, wow.
they know that people are using their cameras and trying to do Zoom calls and stuff like that, may not have a webcam. So they've created all this free software to just plug your camera in USB and use a DSLR as a webcam. And the benefit to that is you're using a much more expensive sensor, a much better lens. And so you get results that are a little bit more, even a little more high end. I use this setup for producing my YouTube channel. So it's more than what I would need, more than what most people would need. But it is a cool tip. If you have a DSLR or a mirrorless camera laying around the house,
I'm not using it. I'm using
chances are you can use either a USB or the HDMI connection, plug it right into your computer, and you're off and running.
What free are you using? A free software right now?
So Canon comes with Canon makes their own free webcam software. I think it's called EOS Webcam or something like that. I'm pretty sure Nikon does, Fujifilm does, Olympus does. I think Panasonic does. All the major Sony does. All the manufacturers have their own webcam software for their newer cameras. And if you have an older camera, you can use a USB to HDMI dongle. It's $35 on Amazon. Just Google it. It's about this big of it's a little USB stick. It looks like an HDMI port on one side and a USB on the other side. Plug that into the back of your computer, plug the HDMI into the camera, and you're off to the races again, just as easy. It shows up like a webcam on your computer, and you'll look like a pro.
I've just learned some. I'm not using that. I use an external, and it's okay. It's like a little it actually might have been $80 like a few years ago. It's probably not worth that. It's like a little Logitech. But yes, use an external camera. Internal cameras just poop. Doesn't matter how fancy or how much you paid. If you have a
I'm gonna do something I never do. I'm gonna use the internal camera on my FaceTime this is what I look like on my iMac.
Oh,
It's horrific.
oh, look at all those blemishes. Look at your forehead.
And you can't see my head. It's terrible.
I love it. Well,
So
it's
definitely worthwhile.
That's being present, Jason. It's not about being perfect. It's very present. So I appreciate that.
Yep.
All right, guys, if you're interested, I just learned something, and that's not even the webinar. Like, there's so many more nuggets that we're going to be sharing. It is on Tuesday, March 9th at 6:30 p.m. It's only $5 to attend. Jason will be leading it. It's another combination of tussle. So, like, why would you not? Just throwing that out there. If you're not doing video, or maybe you're not sure that you're doing video right, this is the webinar for you. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Let us know in the comments if there's any way that we can help you, or even if you have an idea for our next webinar, because we try to do them once a month. All right, we are signing off. Thanks for tuning in.
Awesome. Take care, guys.
See you next time.